So welcome to the NAPI team meeting for March 16th, 2020. We'll follow our standard agenda of looking through the issues we have tagged for the milestone. To start with, does anybody have anything they'd like to announce? Any announcements they'd like to share? If not, okay, I'm going to go to the milestones and with the tags. So let me share that. Okay, share screen. There we go. Share. Okay. So do we need some additional async worker variants? This one I've seen there has been some discussion back and forth. I think Gabriel, you'd commented or reviewed the PR that was open.
Yeah, and then Lucas made some changes and some answers to the comments. So I was about to LGTM that one. So
okay,
I think I'm gonna do that now.
Okay, so let me just find which issue is that. Oh no, is this is the one? Okay, right. So okay, so you're just about to. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll take a look then. Because I think I've been sort of watching it, but waiting for your comments to be incorporated. So I'll take a look. Anything else we should talk about that one? Oh, let me promote Nicola as well. So anything else we should talk about on that one? It sounds like we're just about complete.
Yep.
Legendicast, is this the last? Did we have any other variants that we were going to look at after this one, or is that the last one?
I believe this is the last one.
Okay, so basically, once we land this,
we can resolve this issue.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for all the work on this. Okay, we don't have Jim. He mentioned his travel plans have been disrupted, so no update on the SQLite port. I guess then we're just into any issues. So are there any issues in Node Core or in the Node add-on API that we should talk about this week? I can flip over but are there any that come to anybody who's here's mind?
The top one is I believe we have seen before that someone proposed a helper to Node API, and it's on the issue 639.
So okay, let me find 639. Okay.
This person have implemented in a way that available in the repo.
Right, okay. So I should say basically this was something similar was discussed here.
Yeah. Well, since two people are mentioning the same thing, maybe it might be worth revisiting this as like a Node add-on API feature. Because I mean, in the previous issue, we concluded that it might be better outside Node add-on API. But since this is like the second person coming with this particular idea in like a month, I think it might be worth considering maybe changing our minds on that as to whether to put this in Node add-on API or not.
Right. Although, is it? I mean, is it something that a module can easily do?
Well, that's the issue that needs to be looked at in more detail. Because I mean, if there are 15 ways of doing it, then that would be a candidate for Node add-on API. But if it is, as you say, fairly straightforward, then maybe it need not be.
Right. So this is a like if this is a bind, like I wonder if this module actually does this. Right, like maybe You know, it's kind of like if this, so and let's look at NPM.
Oh, yeah, that one. So I guess the package did launch.
Oh, by the way, I have proposed a PR to recommending the helpers to facilitate the npm tags and GitHub tags. Maybe that's the PR on the Node.js API. That's very
Oh yeah,
fresh.
right.
But I just proposed the tag that like Node.js API. If there is anyone have better idea, maybe we can discuss on the tag names.
Sorry, you proposed a tag for
tools like the one we are just
right. Okay, tags in NPM.
yeah.
Okay. So this one is it X value? I mean, is it that similar? Like this is related to templates. But I guess yes, no, this is add template functions to bind easily, so. So maybe we should basically say, I think, you know, let's see, since we suggested, you know, doing a module, there's a module, let's see if this person can take a look at that module and actually reuse it, because that
Yes.
would likely make sense, right? And then we can see where the discussion goes from there. Okay, Legendicast, you said did you open an issue, did you say, for tagging them, or?
Yeah, 683.
The API on the Node.js API.
Okay, 683. That tag seems good to me. Any sound good to Nicholas and Gabriel? Sound good to you too?
Yeah, it works for me. I'm just reviewing it. It looks good.
Yeah, yeah, it looks good to me too. So live reviews, okay.
Yeah, the same for me.
Okay, excellent. Okay, let's see, what other issues are there that we might want to take a look at? Were there any others that come to mind?
Yeah, I was talking with the maintainer of Sharp.
Okay.
That recently, yeah, started the use NAPI.
Yep.
And yeah, I proposed to add the NAPI badge on the documentation.
Yeah.
And yeah, he proposed me to add this badge documentation on the main documentation of an API, because he didn't know this possibility, and then he proposed to add this documentation on the matrix, not in Node.js API, but yeah, in the okay, in NAPI documentation. And
Right.
his idea was to add in this section that okay, I posted in the chat the link.
Sure. Okay. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
just
okay.
finding the
Yeah,
chat.
the idea was that the badge, in this matrix, and another feedback that I had is that many developers don't understand that if you use NAPI version 3, for example,
Mhm.
it will continue to work even if I don't know, now there is an API version 5, and he reported that it's not really clear in this part of the documentation.
Oh,
Okay.
So,
this matrix should be an upside down triangle. So
yeah.
we should fill, or not an upside down, a right side up triangle. We should fill this out. We should fill out the bottom of this triangle, I think, even though it seems redundant. Yeah, we should fill it out. Okay.
So
Yeah, that's quick work. The thing is,
Right.
this mentioning of badges, we've had this in Node Core, and we were told that it would be best placed elsewhere. So this is kind of superfluous. But now that there are people asking for it, this may change. So I don't know if you have a GitHub handle from this person. We could maybe open an issue in Core, and then they could comment that it would be good to have the badges here, and maybe that'll make a difference. Because right now, I think this text about using badges, I think if I remember correctly, it's in ABI stable node.
Yeah, it's
So-
it's in ABI stable node. We have a badges section because
Yeah.
of what you explained right now. And yeah, I later I will open an issue, and I will link the PR where I discussed this with Lowell, that is the maintainer of Sharp.
Okay.
If it's
Right.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, for
that makes-
sure,
that makes
absolutely.
lots of sense. And I think we can, we should add in some text in Node add-on API, the documentation there to talk about the badges. Like
Yep.
at least maybe, I don't know if we need to duplicate everything, but at least enough to say, when we ask the people do badges, here's the information about it.
Maybe we can start copying what we have in a stable node, and add a section on Node.js API.
Let's just see, where is that?
Yeah, it's in this
badges, right?
readme.
Okay, so that's just this, yeah. Is there anything more than that? Like, okay, so no, I think, yeah, I would just put that directly into the Node add-on API. Now, I guess that means we need to update, like with this badge, like when we do a 6, we have to update this particular section, right?
Yeah, we need to update this section when we already make new NAPI version.
Right.
So yeah, we have sorry, we are at 6 now.
Right.
Yeah, but it's
So
on the master. It's not in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I wasn't like we need to do 6, but once 6 comes out we could probably actually do 6 now. But anyway, we're just at the right time to do it.
Okay.
But I think just copying this into Node add-on API makes sense. In terms of core, I don't know. I think, like you said, opening the issue, maybe it's like we in core, we might just say we recommend the use of badges and link over to this or something, as opposed to having to update the badge every time or something like that, right?
That might not be bad either.
It might be, it's an extra link, but it might be something easier to get in versus, something with these external badge links and everything. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. That was the objection, right? That linking to an external SVG or so can reveal sort of usage information of the page, and so that's information that we don't necessarily want to share.
I think
And
it was
so
something
that's why
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
something like that. Yeah.
But if we had
So-
something, if we just had a link to this, like basically grab that link and then PR'd that into the core documents, that might be okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy, like we could just open a PR that does that. We could say, we've had feedback that it's, it's not obvious. We'd like to make it a little more visible. Here's the reference here. It's just a simple line that says, we ask that people use badges. You can read more about that here.
Yes, but in a stable node, we have the file, no, the SVG files, and developers could link at this file that are in the repo.
Right.
So we can, we can upload this file. We can put this file on main repo, and
well, but I don't think people will want the main these files, right? So I think it's more what I had in mind was, here I can type, it'd basically be just a text line that says, the use of badges recommend indicate the mission version of API required for a module that uses an API. More information is provided here, and then it would link to this page where it actually has the full text and the badge links.
Okay.
Right, because that'll be a minimal impact to the NAPI core docs, and it won't need to be maintained because it'll just be a link, right, to this one, which we'll keep up to date. And in fact, the one I guess we put into Node add-on API should include, like, we shouldn't include the SVGs. We should just include the text linking back to these SVGs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll continue to maintain the actual badges and stuff in this repo, but
yeah, I just want to propose to remove the space between the characters, and in the name of the images.
sorry, to remove what?
Yeah, the space. So if you see the link, you
Yeah.
can see the %20 that is a space.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, maybe we use underscore or to separate the parts.
Will that break existing people?
I don't think, but yeah.
Like, do people actually use these links?
I don't know if there is a way to see these.
Because, well, what's our suggestion? So like our suggestion is the following badges are available. So, but I guess when somebody puts this badge on their site, do they link to our SVG or do they?
Yeah,
copy
they
the
link, they link to this SVG, and yeah,
Right,
if,
so if we change the name, that'll break their links though, right?
yeah, the name of the, yeah, I want to remove the space in this name, and but I don't think that we have right now we have a link to these files, but if we advertise these on the main repo and on Node.js API, maybe yeah, we start to have many links, and it will become too difficult if we want change the structure of these assets, no, or how we want to organize these assets. So if anyone have some opinion about this, I think that this is the right time to review this organization.
I think we may already have links, right? So
That's what I'm a
maybe we
little
should be
worried,
yeah, maybe we should do like a copy on write, you know, just create a new badge, like make a copy of this, rename the copy, and then update the link, and then somebody somewhere will always be linking to the old copy that had a space in it, but newer links should always happen to the one without the space, but we should leave the old files around and just have duplicates.
Yeah, I think that's what I was getting at. Like, we may want to do exactly what Gabriel just said. Okay, so I guess there's a couple things. We'll need somebody to copy the text into Node.js API. Somebody to create a PR in Node Core. And I guess it sounds like, Nicola, you want to change, like make copies of the names.
Yeah, just to recap, I can do all of these things. Okay, open an issue on the main repo, so the Node repo, about the possibility to add a link.
I would just open a PR.
Okay, because we are proposing to add just a link on
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean,
okay.
I feel totally comfortable writing just a single sentence with a link that says, hey, you know, we've had some feedback that this is still not visible enough. We know there was some discussion before, but we think this is fairly low, you know, this is low overhead, low impact, and we think it would be okay.
Okay, so open PR.
Yeah.
And then I can copy and paste all these files, and no, just yeah, the badge section. I can copy the badge section from Abyssable Node and paste on Node.js API repo.
Yep.
And
but it should be, it may be like, it'll be links, it'll point to the same thing. Like, we won't copy the badges, the SVGs, but the text.
Yeah, I just link. I just link the badges that we already have on Abyssable Node.
Yeah.
And I will provide to the new badge the NAPI version 6.
Yep, sounds perfect.
Okay. So yeah, I can do this.
Okay, sounds good. So back on to right. So are there any other issues or things that people want to bring up, discuss? So just looking at some of the issues here. So, okay, badges, that's one that, so tags and different to badges.
Yeah, I think that this is what Lucas did, and then what I'm going to do.
Sounds good. We'll wait to talk about the transfer of these when we have Jim again. Nothing terribly new there. No. Just taking a quick look of issues.
Yeah, I talked about that one.
Default arguments to functions.
Oh, sorry, I read, but I never answered this.
Okay. Do you have an answer? If you do.
No, the problem is that he won't replicate the same thing that happened in JavaScript when you can specify the default parameter.
Yeah, it's not that simple, right? Because in JavaScript
Yeah.
you can specify defaults at any position, right? But in C++ it's just an array. So yeah, there's no, I don't think there's any way of doing it like systematically, right? Because it is an array, so you have to just do that parameter juggling.
Yeah.
You know that you sometimes have to do that in JavaScript as well. You know where you sometimes have 2 parameters, sometimes you have 3 parameters, and then you have to decide what they mean depending on their position.
Yeah.
There's just
What,
two ways about it.
My first thought, yeah, was exactly I think like yours, because you call the native side from JavaScript, no? And you can use the JavaScript to, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's always a good point.
normalize the parameters. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably faster too than doing it
Yeah,
natively.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll chime in on that one. You're into tomorrow. Okay, sounds like there's an answer there. So otherwise, nothing too new. So anything else people think we should talk about this week?
Just a question. If I create, it's a C++ question. I'm writing a test for a PR that I have on Node.js API. But okay, if I create a standard initializer, no, an initializer list in a function, and then return that initializer, I will get always an error. If I do the same thing with maybe a standard vector, it's okay. It's because the standard initializer, it's I don't know, the allocated the scope is valid only on the function where I created it or not, or is there other reason?
Okay,
Maybe
so you cannot. Yeah. Okay. So the problem is that you cannot use a standard initializer list as a return value.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I don't know enough C++ to tell you that, but I suspect that it may not be like it may not be copyable, and that's probably why it wouldn't work. That's just my guess, because you know when you return a value, you are, I think you are copying it at that point, right? Because you know, like you copy it, and then and then the old value goes out of scope. And so if you cannot copy the value, if it's not supposed to be copied, then I don't think you can use it. But that's just a wild guess. Like I'm 100% not sure
okay,
that
so
this is the reason.
after I will try and hope to end the test. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else, or if not, we'll call it for this week. And I may not be able to make it next week because I have this ongoing conflict until the week after. So Gabriel, will you be around to chair if I can't make it?
Yep.
Stream?
Can
Okay.
do.
Great, thanks. Talk to everybody on GitHub, and if not, next week.
All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.
Thanks, bye.